Hey, Amy.
Hi, Bianca. What are you doing?
Oh, looking at pointers on how to make an effective resume. There's a position I'm applying for.
Oh, I'm about to give a presentation on resume building. Want to help me?
Yeah.
The resume is perhaps the most talked about aspect of job hunting. It is definitely important as it is seen as your calling card to employers, but it will not get you a job by itself.
Employers all have their own preferences for style and content on resumes, but there are definitely important rules and guidelines to follow. Once you get a resume you're confident with, remember to focus your energy on getting your resume in front of the right people as well as following up. Be persistent in order to get a meeting or interview. That's a whole different challenge, and the CDC can help you with that too.
The topics covered in these slides will be basic principles, types of resumes, content, formatting, common mistakes, and tone and style.
A resume's job is to make the connection for the employer between what you've done in different academic, work, and extracurricular situations to the position you are applying for, or the career field you want to work in. It also should have an appealing balance between the white space and print. Perfect punctuation, grammar, and spelling are key too. Your resume is a business document. It is not a personal story. So do not use I, me, or my's in your resume.
Use powerful and accurate action verbs to describe your accomplishments. There is a list of action verbs on the CDC website, or you can pick one up in room 128 Mellencamp Hall that will be helpful. It may also help to get resume critiques from people who know about grammar, good writing, and your career field, as industry or career field specific language can help your resume be a more marketable document.
Keep your resume up to date, even when you aren't actively looking for a job. It's difficult to remember details like this 2 or 3 years down the road. Update your resume every 6 months or when you reach a milestone.
Don't expect the same resume to work in all marketplaces. Target your resume to each position. This can be done by putting your most relevant experience or accomplishments up front or highlighted in a summary near the top of the resume. If you are applying for a delivery driver job at Jimmy John's, your driving record would be a plus to address on your resume. It would not be all right if you were applying for a job in a psychology lab on campus. When you send your resume out, it should always have a cover letter. If you need more information about cover letters, check out the CDC website or handout in room 128 Mellencamp Hall.
There are 3 basic types of resumes: chronological, functional, and hybrid, which is a combination of the 2.
Chronological resumes are the most useful format. Your information is placed so that your current job is first and your first job is at the end. Employers tend to prefer this format because it shows candidates' career growth and connects skills and accomplishments to the jobs you've had. The sections in a chronological resume in order are personal data, objective and/or summary, education, experience, technology or special areas, interest activities, and lastly, the references statement. Personal data includes your name, street address, city, state, and zip code, as well as your phone number and email. Always state your current position using verbs in the present tense and previous positions in the past tense.
Functional resumes focus on skills and credentials over the course of all your accomplishments. In jobs, activities, volunteer experiences, and even course projects, where and when you did those jobs are not as important. Your experiences, qualifications, and accomplishments are grouped together to emphasize your skills or competencies in specialty areas called functional headings. For example, communications, leaderships, and administration. In this functional resume example, the experience heading is a skill set. It lists various types of customer service and sales skills, but it does not directly identify where the skills are gained. There is an employment history below to allow the employer to see your job history.
Each bullet point is started with an action verb, just like the chronological resume. There is also a resume called a hybrid or combination resume. Bianca, can you explain that to me a little bit better?
Sure, a hybrid or a combination resume presents your skills and accomplishments under a major heading which relates directly to the job or field you want to work in, like laboratory experience. Then you follow with a listing of your employment history in reverse chronological order, using action verbs to present accomplishments just like in traditional chronological resume. This highlights your skills and accomplishments that are most relevant to the job you are applying for and provides chronological work history at the same time. This allows you to best present your key strengths and allows the employer to clearly see your job accomplishments. Amy, let's talk more about the major components of a resume, starting with the objective statement and executive summary. Objective statements and executive summaries provide a clear, concise statement that is easily and clearly read. They should demonstrate how your skills and background add value to an organization. You can do this by using language from the industry that you are applying for. You can either use an objective statement or an executive summary, or you can choose to have both. If you go with both, the objective can simply be a job title or organization for the job you're applying for.
The objective statement is generally 1 to 3 lines in length. Bullet points may be used to expand and add specifics. Begin with the specific job title or type of job you are applying for, and then follow with 1 to 3 qualifications you can offer the employer. This could be prior experience, educational background, or even personal traits. The following is an example of an objective statement. Notice that the example addresses relevant previous experiences and skills that will benefit the employer.
Summary statements are typically 4 to 5 sentences long. Use this if you desire to bring different qualifications and experiences together in a concise marketing statement. It's your personal commercial. They often include a significant track record and demonstrate how a diverse career and educational history can be focused on a specific job objective or employer need. These are 2 effective examples of summary statements. Notice the length. They are 4 to 5 sentences and they are concise.
Avoid these mistakes when writing an objective or summary statement. Poorly written or vague introduction statements that are unclear about your job objective or your value. Also avoid using meaningless, overused phrases.
In the education section of the resume, colleges and/or educational institutions are required. List the institution's name, degrees received, and graduation date or academic standing, like sophomore or junior. These should also be listed in reverse chronological order, most recent first. Also included in the education section is your major, minor, area of concentration, specializations, or certifications. Remember to list the city and state of your college to help employers who may be unfamiliar with your school.
Educational honors on your resume are optional. This can be included in your education section or listed in a separate section. College courses and projects are also optional on your resume. Courses and projects can demonstrate how your education is relevant to an employer. Focus on aspects of courses that show knowledge, skills, or work similar to the position that you are applying for. Class projects are especially of interest to employers when they represent collaborations between a class and a real employer.
Things to leave out of your education section are your GPA if it's below 3.0, and also any institutions you attend but did not receive a degree from, unless the school or courses you took are significant to the position for which you are applying.
The experience section describes skills and responsibilities you have from various settings. List paid and unpaid experiences, internships, co-ops, volunteer activities, and fieldwork.
The writing format for the experience section is reverse chronological order for each heading. Begin with employer, city, state, title, and dates of employment. This is typically on 2 lines and arranged identically for all experiences within a section. Move the employment dates to the right of the page so the employer can clearly see when you worked.
Rules for the experience sections are reverse chronological order. Write in short statements. Complete sentences are not needed. State your present position in the present tense and your previous positions in the past tense. Show evidence for your accomplishments by using proper nouns, names, numbers, and measurable outcomes. This adds credibility to your resume. Depending on the position you are applying for, volunteer activities may be their own section or included within the experience section. There are varying degrees of information that you may list for these types of activities. What and how much information you include about your volunteer activities depends on many factors. If you have questions about this, please speak with a career counselor during Express Lane.
Activities and skills sections are optional. These may be listed in one or multiple sections. Title the sections according to the type of information provided.
A reference statement can provide closure to the resume. However, it is not required and may be removed if space is an issue. References, names, and contact information aren't usually presented on your resume. This information should be included on an additional reference sheet. If you have a 2-page resume, however, and there is room on the second page, it is sometimes useful to include your references. There are different philosophies on this, so you may want to check with a career counselor on how to best handle it. These are different ways to present your references. The appearance of your resume is important. Print the resume in black ink on white quality paper. Other off-white colors are acceptable. Use a non-decorative font, margins at 0.75 to 1 inch on all 4 sides of the page. Align your margins to the left and you won't have to worry about justified text blocks that put odd spaces between words. Use bold underlining, italics, and capitalization to highlight information. There are many common mistakes that people make on their resumes. Don't lie or embellish your achievement. Don't just list jobs and employers. Volunteer experiences, activities, course projects, hobbies, and personal involvements can all help market you. Don't state salary or wage requirements. If this information is requested in the job posting, address it in your cover letter.
Your resume is a business document. It should be concise and use language that is related to your field. Good luck with writing your resume.
And remember, it's a critical first step in the job seeking process.
But also, there's important follow-up strategies which are necessary to get you personally in front of the employers.
The Career Development Center can help in all of these areas.
Visit us at Mellencamp 128.